Hey Giovanni, my name's
Hi,
Dempsey.
hi, Dempsey.
Nice to meet you, man. Pleasure to be speaking with you. I have to ask, I know that working with anything associated with The Godfather must be a big deal, but
Mm.
you actually played a living person and a very intimidating living person at that. What kind of things did you do to prepare for the role?
Well, I did. I looked just for anything and everything because and it was kind of difficult with Joe Colombo to find things because he was a mysterious person and he had a persona that he had really structured himself. He was really well known when he was alive. He was on the cover of Time magazine, and he was a very powerful person. But there was a great book that I found that was a biography on him and his life, written by Don Capria and Anthony Colombo, his son. And it was an interesting perspective because it didn't indulge too much in the criminal activity as much as it was, a story about a son looking at his father, this incredible person, really. But what was interesting, in this context is how adamantly opposed to the Godfather he was in the making of the film, and what Al Ruddy, the producer on the film, the character that Miles plays, what he had to do to overcome that, and not only overcome it, but he actually gained his support and they became friends, apparently.
I really loved your performances in this. It's so crazy because it felt like I was watching the real people.
Oh
Oh,
man,
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, it's so crazy. Especially you, Dan. You look so much like a young Francis Ford.
Yeah,
It
he
was so
does.
crazy. But so
Wow.
what?
Thank you for saying that.
First question: what kind of preparation did you do? I know Mario's no longer alive, but like Dan, did you actually consult with Francis or Patrick? Did you have to do some extra digging on your part? Talk to me about what preparation was like.
I wish I got to talk to Francis. He was. I did a movie with Robert Schwartzman, who's his nephew. So he gave me the inside scoop about some stuff. He also um, led me to some other family that was close to Francis that I got to talk to. Once we started shooting, I was like, I said, let me just finish it and then see what Francis says. I hopefully he'll give us, the thumbs up. Um, but yeah, I obviously I watched Hearts of Darkness, but I love that seeing him at his fortitude and his passion trying to make that happen. And then when I got the part, I went and I researched the Rain People, the making of the Rain People, which was the movie he made before, which didn't make such a big splash, and so it was such a great glimpse into where he was really needing to prove himself as a director, and so that was really helpful. And what about you, man? What about you, Patrick? What'd you do?
It was just a matter of reading, his words. I felt like, there's not as much out there, about Puzo as much as there is with Coppola documentary footage and it's, things like that. But so I think it was like I really tried to find him in his work, and just reading everything he wrote, and finding, his life and where he kind of where his roots were in the earth, through that. And you find that you read his work and he's a poet and a passionate artist. And that was all I really needed in that way. I felt like if as soon as I recognized that, I felt like his spirit kind of came through, and I had an understanding of him, and I mean, I was able to do an interpretation, not in any way an impression, just an interpretation of his spirit. And that's what I really depended on when I would step in, I guess, put on his glasses and his little pants and shirt and coat. And
There were
that was
certain
starting.
moments. There were certain moments, definitely in Master Shots, where you look like a lot like him. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
hairs, right, and the glass.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and I felt like him, you know what I mean? And that's, you know, the beauty of making something like this with wardrobe and hair and makeup. And, you know, everyone is just working toward the same goal, and they're all so brilliant at what they do. And then it makes, you know, it makes us as actors, it gives us a great, it's kind of like, you know, we have the engine, and they build this beautiful vehicle around us. And that gives us the opportunity to really, you know, drive these humans, you know, down this storytelling path.
Hey, Matthew. Hey, what's up, Burn? Pleasure to be speaking to both of you guys. I really enjoyed the series. I have to ask, I've been trying to figure out the proper way to ask this question, but I'll try the best that I can. So, first line in the film is "I believe in America." This is a film that is very much about what it means to make it in America. You guys are English actors, so I wanted to know what did it mean to you guys, both of you, to be a part of this project and this story in particular?
I was hugely honored.
Mm.
You know, I mean, they're both sort of titans in their own field, and I don't think I expected to be given such a wonderful opportunity. So yeah, I was quite honored and terrified at the same time.
Yeah, I was born in Hollywood, believe it or not.
Yes.
My dad was a bit of a hippie and taught at UCLA, and obviously I was raised in London. But it was lovely to come back and be in Los Angeles for 7 months. COVID was happening, and it was quite unique set of circumstances, obviously, where we would see each other on set, but after that we had to, you know, go home and be in our hotel rooms. But it was still a great opportunity to be in Hollywood, telling a Hollywood story, being on the Paramount lot a lot of the time. It was just a dream come true, really, you know.
There's I mean, because it's quite iconic. It's quite iconic, the Paramount lot. And so there was one day that for me personally, so there was one day they were like, so, you know, Bob's office is still there. And I was there, what?
Yeah.
Because they were just about to knock it down and make it into offices because they need the room. You know, it's a big beast, Paramount. And so we were some of the last people who had the opportunity to go into what was still the guts of his
same carpet, same
paint, parquet floor.
Yeah.
And then actually the set was so nice, so much nicer than probably the room was in its own way. But I felt quite honored to share the space that the big man used to walk around in.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's so cool. Thank you for sharing that story. Pleasure to be speaking with both of you. Loved you guys in the show, which I'm pretty sure you're hearing all day. But my first question for you all is, I mean, I never want to say never, but at this point, it seems like they're not going to remake The Godfather, or at least not anytime soon. So what does it mean to you guys, both of you, to be a part of something that is probably the closest thing we'll get to like a remake for a very long time?
Well, I would say that I'm grateful we're not remaking The Godfather, because I why would you ever try and do that? It would just be almost blasphemous. But to be a part of the telling of how the Godfather became the Godfather, I think is one of those once in a lifetime experiences as an actor that you get to be a part of telling a story of something that truly inspired you to do what you do, from so many different aspects, from whether it was about the performances or about the costume or about the dialogue or the lighting or how the camera lens moved, or how there's so many things to learn from The Godfather. So the learning of how hard it was to actually get it all together, capture it, and put it on film, I think is an honor and a gift.
Yeah, I echo that. And I think just being such a big fan of the film, as so many people are, I felt lucky to be privy to, kind of getting history lessons almost every day on, oh, this was this and that happened and this happened. And so to be able to kind of be a vessel for that and to share that with a larger audience, the movie is so revered and beloved that I know fans are, going to really enjoy learning the behind the scenes of it all.
Working on it, was there anything that you learned about The Godfather or the production of it, maybe aside from that brief feud, that you didn't know before?
Oh yeah, I mean, just the fact that Joe Colombo was involved, what is enough for me, I guess. But yeah, for me, The Godfather is just set apart from anything. I personally feel like there are movies before The Godfather and movies after, and I'm not just talking about what the effect that the film had on audiences, and but also the process of making films and the sort of like rock and roll attitude, the changing of the guard, and the culture really. And along with that was Joe Colombo's life and what he was trying to do, because he was kind of trying to do the same thing. He was trying to bring the five families up to the 20th century, or into the 20th century, I should say. And so this is one of the things that he bonded with Al Ruddy over.
Did you guys learn anything, or was there anything that you guys didn't know before about the production that you learned while filming it?
Oh,
There was a lot.
a ton of stuff in there that some of it jaw dropping, and some of it just like for example, what's a small thing that I didn't know? I didn't know that when Luca Brasi was being the guy from the real mafia was being tried out for that rather than panicking, Francis Ford Coppola went, "Oh, I'll use that. He needs the cards." So he said, because he can't, during the audition, he couldn't remember the lines. So he's like, "I'll use that. That's brilliant." So that informed how he was going to shoot the thing. And I was like, that's just a proper director rolling with the punches and being able to see through the cracks.
Yeah, it's great that it's Al's story. He's telling it at 91.
Yes.
You know, he won the Oscar for The Godfather, and finally he's sharing all these really interesting tidbits and little secrets and things that we just don't know about, even things to do with casting and, you know, securing a particular iconic, you know, scene.
His own safety.
Right. Yeah. The mafia, the story is just absolutely intoxicating, you know.
And it's just, you know, rather like history. It's one thing after another.
Yeah.
It's relentless. And as he said, every day on The Godfather was the worst day of my life.
Now, obviously, I feel like there's a lot of similarities between some of the themes that are presented in The Godfather. Like, you know, one of the biggest things touched upon in it is like what it means to make it in America. But what are you guys hoping that people take away from it?
You want to go?
Go for it.
I hope it reminds people to be passionate about the things that they make, and to be patient and make them the way that you really believe that they should be made, you know. And I think that Al Ruddy's loyalty in this show that Miles portrays so beautifully is something that patience goes along with, and then the outcome is, I mean, you don't need words to explain it, because it created The Godfather. So I hope it reminds people to be passionate, patient, and loyal.
I hope they're entertained first and foremost. And then I also hope that they understand that even Al Pacino was told no, and Francis Ford Coppola was told no. And even when executives and people were sitting there watching a masterpiece, said this is never going to work. Audiences are never going to watch this.
Thank you guys so much. You killed it. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Wish you the best of luck with this and all your other future endeavors.
Thank you,
Take
sir.
care.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely afternoon.
Giovanni, I really enjoyed your performance, and as always, I'll watch you in everything. So I wish you the
Oh,
best.
that's really nice.
Take care.
Thank you. All right, take care.
Once again, you guys did a fantastic job. That's all the time that I have for today. But Dan, I did see The Argument. Loved it. I just have to say, it was a great.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, take care, and I wish you the best of luck with all your future projects, guys.
Right on, man. Thank you very much.